Hey guys, it's Kenny and Aisha here, and we're just going to start this new podcast, video podcast, or vlog, or whatever you want to call it.
I think a vlog.
Yeah. I don't think people really using that word too much no more. That's why I kind of felt weird saying it, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. No, the wife just came up with a pretty awesome idea, had the whole name, and we just said, hey, we're just going to do it, you know. So you want to give them a rundown of what the idea is, and then we'll press.
Yeah, so it's simple. I am a personal financial counselor, or an accredited financial counselor. And so a lot of the times when I hear different podcasts, we're talking about things that are obviously serious in nature as it pertains to financial readiness and money. And so I thought, why don't we come and talk about money, but talk about some of the funniness, is it a word?
Yeah, it is now.
Or the fun behind money. So tell funny stories about some things that you have probably experienced when it comes to money, and what were the lessons that you actually learned out of that. So I think it's both entertaining and educational at the same time. And so just having candid conversations about, you know, those funny times that you can remember. So yeah, that's simple.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Funny Money.
Funny Money. You know what I'm saying? So, we're just going to jump right into it, kind of lay the groundwork, and then we'll see. I'm sure we can think of quite a few interesting stories for ourselves, and then we'll probably try to get some more folks involved so we can kind of spread the love. Really to let folks know that it is serious, like my wife said. Like, financial stability and financial literacy, all of those things are serious. But you can also enjoy the journey, right? You'll make mistakes. Things will happen that will throw you off or just be funny. And so it's okay to capture those things along the way in your journey as well.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to start out with a story that we can remember from when we first got married.
Yeah.
Back in 2009. And as in our relationship, I'll be more of the person that is more soft-hearted when it comes to
for sure.
people and giving to
more
people.
Generous, for sure.
And so I can remember there was a time that we saw a lady. I can't remember exactly where we saw her at, where we met her. Somewhere.
We were just out and about. I think we were Christmas shopping or something like that. And
could have
been. I know we just heard a sermon or something was going on, but our hearts were pretty right. And I think it might have, I don't know whose idea it was, but we saw this homeless lady, and we were like, yo, we need to do something. You know what I mean? We won't just walk by this lady or drive by this lady. Older lady. Yeah. And we were in St. Louis, or near St. Louis time.
Yeah. I think it was over in Illinois. On the
it was definitely
side,
on the Illinois side, but in that whole time frame around Christmas time, it's super cold. Ridiculously cold. And I think we walked up to her. We had a conversation with her, and she kind of told us she had obviously had a bunch of stuff going on, and she didn't have nowhere to stay. You know what I mean? So,
and so, of course, when she said she didn't have anywhere to stay, we started to ponder, how can we actually help this woman, you know? And I think that night, we put her up into a hotel that night.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't remember the name of the hotel, but I do remember her having an idea of what hotel we should go to and how to use a code in order to get a discount, remember?
I don't know that at all.
Remember that. She said, say this. And so I said that, and then we got some type of discount at the hotel.
Oh, I don't know that at all. That is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So so we ended up buying her some food too, I think. I think we took her by somewhere and bought some food.
That would make sense.
Okay.
I don't remember it, but yeah, that would make sense.
And then we put her up into the hotel for one night. And so
And our intent, I think our intent was to say, okay, cool, like, we're not going to let you just be out here just straight freezing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't, you know what I'm saying, we can't put you up in the hotel for forever. But we did know at least one person that I think came to mind that did kind of some work and ministry stuff with with women.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to try to see, hey, how can we get them involved? I don't really know what happened with that. Maybe they couldn't find nothing, or maybe there's some stipulations to it.
We really didn't know this lady's whole story either.
Yeah,
we didn't know how or why she was on the streets, and so we just kind of, I guess, saw something and we wanted to do something, and we didn't have all the background information about it, and so we just decided to help, and I don't regret helping her.
No,
I'm glad, because I know that
here's what it is.
a seed was planted there, so hopefully she's doing well now. But anyway, so we put her up into the hotel that one night, and that was all good. And I think I had maybe given her my phone number.
That sounds something like that.
I think so, because I talked to her again, and I decided I really need to help this woman.
Okay.
You don't remember me going to help her again?
Matter of fact, I think it was a conversation about that. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, because I remember. Yeah. Yes. I do remember that. He was like, hey, I want to talk to her. I was like, okay, cool. Like, ministry work, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And no, it was that night. That's what happened. Yeah. It was that night. You went to go talk to her. And I just happened to be, I think, once again, going over the bills, because I'm the serious person in the relationship. So I'm going over bills. I'm doing, financial analysis and all of this stuff. And next thing I know, I definitely look on the bank account. And before we go any further, we had said that as a couple, like, we are going to agree on these, these decisions and stuff that we make. Yeah. And I think it was probably more on my end, but I was like, look, we can put her up for one night, but it's gonna keep going. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't agree on 1, 2, whatever nights, and we agreed on one, I was like, look, we're done. We're gonna try to help her find some other place, but like, we don't have the funds to be able to just put her up in a hotel for endless amount of time or whatnot. So so that's the kind of the preface of it. Mm-hmm. And they went out to go talk or whatnot, and I'm doing my analysis and all of this stuff, and I see a charge for another, like, a hotel, which it's like, it's not a bad thing, obviously, right? But,
of course. But that's something that I obviously should have mentioned to him. But I thought at the time, well, I can help this lady.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
Get
there, brother.
The Lord's work, but not just that. Not just that, I just felt compelled to, you ever felt compelled to just help someone? And I felt like he would probably have been against helping her again.
What and so
I chose to not divulge that information
out here lying
to him.
I think mind you, we had been married for like a good.
We
got married in November. So and we left in February. So this was at this was
at the very beginning of our marriage.
I think this must have been like maybe a month we were married. Yeah.
So I committed financial infidelity.
Oh, is that what you call it?
That's because I did not talk to my spouse about, even though it was something good that I was doing, I did not respect that agreement that we had to come to each other and talk about what we wanted to do so far as our budget is concerned, and what things that we want to help out with that month. Who were we going to be helping? Things of that nature. It's not necessarily a super funny situation, because there are people out there in the world that really needs help. But I think that just the way that, you kind of found out about it, and was
I think it was that night too. I was like,
yeah, and so I think the biggest lesson that I learned out of that is to just discuss with your spouse, your what your expectations are as far as, if you want to help with something of that nature, like discuss those things, because you may think you're doing something good, but at the same time you're actually causing your spouse to distrust you.
And I think that's a good point, because obviously it was a good thing to do. Like, obviously it was a good thing to do. So, but what that can do is it can create these little, like, doubts, like you said, doubts and mistrust, right? Like, hey, we came to an agreement on this particular thing, and whenever you're dealing with money, and particularly in marriage or relationships, like, the trust piece is extremely important,
right?
Especially, is extremely important, right?
Yeah, because you're setting the foundation, right? And so, in the beginning of your marriage, you want to have strong foundation, and if you're already starting out your marriage with these little sneaky type lies, things, and your lies, being sneaky, not being truthful,
for sure.
Then it causes that foundation to weaken, and as your marriage goes on, if you continue that habit, then that could really cause some issues. And so, just money is funny, right? Is something that we all need to survive day to day, but it's also something that can cause a lot of broken relationships and just a lot of other things that we probably don't really want in our lives. So that's a story that I can remember just happening early on in our marriage that really, if I think back to it, I probably would have not. Now, what I know, I would not do that. I would say, hey, this is something that I want to help out with. Let's sit down and talk about it. This is why I want to do that, and if we disagree on it, we disagree on it, and, I don't move any further with it.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't even know at that point, how well I don't know how it would have. I don't know what would have happened, obviously, but, like, as we continue to progress in our marriage and talk about communication and trust and things like that, like, being able to go to your spouse and say, hey, I know we agreed on this, but this is a situation. My heart's really, like, leaning toward this way. Like, let's do whatever it is. It doesn't have to be something as serious as, trying to help, homeless people or whatever. But, like, hey, I feel really strongly about this, and that's an opportunity for y'all to be able to discuss and talk about, like, what is on your heart and why things are important. And so, versus kind of like just going in there with mistrust, you can kind of lead with more communication and more understanding and figuring out more about your spouse and about your partner. Okay, well, why do they feel so strongly about this, and why do I not? And that can be a conversation, and y'all can come to a happy medium. Y'all find out more about each other, which is always good in a healthy relationship, and y'all get whatever y'all want to get accomplished.
Right. Yeah. So that's our story. That's our first story. Helping out the homeless, and
when helping out the homeless goes wrong,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
And the crazy thing about the story is, my friend Deidre was with me.
Okay, you talking?
You were with me that night. Yes.
I didn't even know that. I'm definitely gonna call her.
Oh, Deidre, I'm putting your business out there, boo.
Come on, Deidre. We supposed to be friends. We're roommates.
And she's extremely sweet.
She's
extremely kind. Someone that would give you the shirt off her back, and so she wasn't really helping me.
Did she put in on something? Did y'all go halvesies?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
You're wrong, DJ.
But the funny thing
You're
is,
wrong.
when we went back to the hotel, which was the same hotel that we had taken her to,
Yeah.
and I tried to use the code that she gave. That's the first time they gave us the discount. I guess the hotel had gotten used to her being there, and they were like, "No, you can't use the code." And so that was really interesting. But
Interesting.
yeah. So I hope, I'm not gonna say her name. I'm just gonna say Miss D.
Well, you gotta use DJ name. She didn't put her on front.
That's true. Is doing well. I do.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do. So, yeah, that's it. If you like this video, share it with someone.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if we're gonna do if we want to do more of these. If this was helpful, we're gonna try to make sure we actually have a funnier story next time. But hey, we came up with an idea, and we just went with it. So let us know what you think. Like I said before, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Funny Money.
Bye.